Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about how to create our first web application using Python coding for quantitative finance. So let us see what sort of applications we will be covering in this series. So here is the idea. We will be covering investment management techniques, right? All the web apps that relate to this topic. For example, it may include things like, okay, time value of money, all those basic investment management techniques. And then we will also go to the topics like portfolio analysis, equity valuation, bond valuation, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, various types of statistical distributions that we use in corporate finance, and also the quantitative finance, candlestick charting, option strategies like long call, short call, long put, short put, all those. So we have a lot to cover, but today we are getting into this investment management techniques, the basic investment management techniques. And I want to start with some fundamentals, right? Here I have created one application under coding 01QF, right? This is the most basic application. But as you know, I have already created some applications and they are sitting here in this folder that I have created, Quant Finance apps. But it looks like quite cluttered and may confuse you. So what I will do is that we will create the same application here, which is here, but maybe let us start with a new folder so it gives you kind of a blank space, right? So that way, for that I browsed and opened this folder, and now you see that once I opened this folder, coding 01 quantitative finance, it just means that this is where we are learning coding for quantitative finance, and this is our first ever application, right? And when I try to open it, so it asked me, this VS Code asked me, do you trust the authors of all the files in this parent directory or folder? Yes, I will check it, right? And I will say, yes, I trust the authors. And now it would open this app for me. So this way we had a clean slate before we started, right? Kind of had our first folder, coding 01 underscore QF, and under that we have this file app.py, right? I have created this app already, this file I mean, right? So if you don't have it, right, then you can definitely create file from here. You can click here, right, and then you can create this file app.py like this, right? But I already have it, so I will not do it. So remember the overall purpose, right? The overall purpose is that we want to learn Python, coding in Python, and then also we want to create some apps, right? Which can be useful for corporate finance and quantitative finance, other topics of quantitative finance also, because quantitative finance is a broader term, as I said, and includes other things also, right? Including corporate finance, of course. But we are starting with corporate finance, right? And the purpose is to make those apps, right? When we make these apps and they are sitting on our computer, they don't help, right? So you can't show it to anybody. It's just for your internal satisfaction, right? You can't mention it in your portfolio, the work portfolio. So the good idea is whenever you do something, you should upload it, deploy it, I mean, right, and publish it, and you should create some URL link, and which you can share with somebody that it is proof of my work. That is why we are learning Python this way, right? So I have by this time published over 1000 web apps using Python, right? So this is the good idea, this is the best way to share your work. So how I do that, right? And I have a coding experience of over 24 years, and I am sharing this experience. It's not just a conceptual reading, okay? It is something that is kind of very practical and will help you create real life projects. As we move, you will see that. So here, as it says that this first app is about simple blank template, right? We are creating a very basic blank template so that we don't have any errors, we don't have to do much of debugging, and it would give us confidence. So here, first of all, we have to import the necessary modules. In this approach, first of all, we will be importing from Shiny import app, UI, and render, right? So this is the standard importing code that goes in there. Since we are using uh, this web framework, right? Whenever we run this app, for example, if I try to run this app here, you will see that basically the output says it is a simple blank template. There is nothing in there, right? Because we created nothing except this message in the UI, which is H3 sort of third level heading, right? That is what we displayed. It is a blank template. So whenever we have to create these blank templates, I will close it. Or not just blank template. I mean, when we start with blank template, it is just like, okay, you have a blank slate on which you can write. So here there are options. Since we are creating these Python apps as web apps, so we will be able to deploy it like web page. So that is why there are many options there, right? I see people saying that, oh, is there only one type of Python? And some people say, oh, there are many types of Pythons. And then you wonder, is it possible that yes, there are many types of Pythons? Actually, what they want to say over there is that there are many web frameworks in which you can make web applications using Python. And today we are using Shiny, right? So it helps us create those amazing UI, right? As I shared in my previous video, right? I have shared some of the outputs, and those numeric input boxes, those sliders, all those things, buttons, all those things, right? Whatever we have to create in the UI, you can create that with any of those modules and libraries, right? Some people use Streamlit, some people use Dash, sometimes we use Django, but today we are using Shiny because it is very easier to create and create UI elements, right? UI elements means those numeric input boxes and other things like labels, buttons, sliders, all those. It is very easy to create those through Shiny. We will see that in upcoming apps also, right? So whenever you do that, for example, we are doing through Shiny, I will go to terminal here, and I will take a new terminal here, and then I will definitely install Shiny here through this command pip install Shiny, right? So when you do that, it will install Shiny for you, right? So for me, it is giving the message requirements already satisfied because I have installed it already, and that is why I was able to run it last time when I did it. But for you, it would install Shiny, right? So at this moment, just to have a simple definition, you can say ocean is like, okay, with which you can create those UI elements, as I said, right? So it is that module. Put it this way. Although I'm oversimplifying it, but sometimes it is good idea to kind of oversimplify things. And in certain other video, we will do the comparison of Shiny with the Streamlit Dash or other web frameworks that are used in Python. And after that, this part of the code is defining the UI element. And in the UI, there is only H3 header, that's all, right? Header for the app is there. We have not added any numeric input boxes or sliders. We will do that, right? So that is first UI part. And then there is a server logic for that. So in every app, there will be one server logic that you will be defining, right? Since there is nothing happening, no operations are happening, we are not doing any calculation, so there is no server logic in this simple template, but eventually you will see we have a lot of server logic. And then this next part is where we create an app object. So we have to publish an app, we can deploy it, we will learn that too. As I said, I have already deployed over 1000 apps to the server. How to do that, we will learn that in coming learnings. But at this moment, kind of, we are creating this app. And then in order to run this app, you have to use this stereotype code, right? Dot run. And then before that, we give this generic code. This is general and generic code we have to write in every app. So once we have done that, it is always a good idea that we also create a file which is requirements dot txt file. Requirements.txt file, right? So in this file you will kind of include all the libraries that you will be using. So for example, here we are using Shiny, but if you are using pandas, matplotlib, all those you will also include. So I just included these two extra for a kind of clarification purposes. All the libraries that we are using will be included here, although we are in this template only using the first one, right? So and when you see this white circle here, it means the file has not been saved yet. So you have to uh, press Ctrl S on the keyboard or go here and click save to save these files, right? So I will close this file. This file has been created, and now when I run this file, it shows that output, simple blank template. This is how you create very simple web application in Shiny, right? If you click this one, the maximize button here on the top right, you will be able to open this same app in the browser as it says here also. So this is the basic simple blank template. This is your first ever learning, so we did it. uh, Congratulations on making your very first blank template in Python for your corporate finance purposes. See you in the next learning.